Kia ora, and welcome to Active Kids TV.
Ko Jack Tuko Ingoa.
Ko Charlie toka ingoa.
What a week it has been at Breen's. There's been the production dress rehearsal and it has been brilliant.
Last week we have also had Cantor Math, and we hope you have all been giving it a go.
We will now pass you over to Peter and Alfie, who will be interviewing a local politician, Sarah Pallett, about being a member of our local government.
Hi, and welcome to Active Kids TV. I'm Alfie.
And I'm Peter.
And we are here with Sarah Pallett to talk about being a politician in our local community. Hi, Sarah.
Good morning. Hi, everyone.
We're just going to ask you some questions, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Firstly, what inspired you to become a member of politics?
So one of the things...
Of Parliament, even.
A member of Parliament? Yeah, so one of the things that really matters to me is making things better for other people. And I just felt that that was the best way of doing that.
I've got another question for you.
Yeah, sure.
What steps are you taking to improve education in our area?
So we're doing a lot to improve education in the area. One of the things that we're doing is making sure teachers are well paid, because we know how awesome teachers are. You'll have seen that we rolled out free school lunches for some of the schools in the area with kids that need it the most. And we've had a lot of building projects. So after the earthquakes, we needed to do a lot of building to make sure that all our school buildings were exactly how we wanted them to be.
Great answer. What are your main responsibilities as our local MP?
So my main responsibilities as an electorate MP are really the people of Ireland. So every country, the country is divided into a number of electorates. And so I have about 70,000 people that live in Ireland that I try to support as best I can with all of the issues and problems that they bring to me. And that includes some of the people that are at school here, and some are in other electorates. Yeah.
Can you explain how a bill becomes a law in our country's legislative?
Yeah, sure. So it's quite a long process. So first of all, it has to be drafted. And we have lots of very smart lawyers that actually work to make sure that we're presenting a good bill, even in its first draft. And then it goes to Parliament for a first reading. It goes to Select Committee, where what we do is we actually goes to a specialist committee. So if it was a bill about health, it would come to the Health Select Committee, which I'm on. And so then it comes to us and we have a really good look at it between the whole committee, and that's got Labour Party members, National Party members, ACT Party members, Green Party members. Between all of us, we try to make the bill as good as it can be. And we also hear from the public as well. Goes back to Parliament for a second reading, has something called the Committee of the Whole House, and then a third reading, and then it goes through final royal assent, and that's when it kicks in to be a law that affects all of us. So it's quite a long process, but it's a really good one.
Yeah, quite a big process.
It is, eh? Time consuming.
Well, how can young people like us get more involved in local politics?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really good to see young people being involved in local politics. And I just, one of the best things about being an MP is hearing from the community. So sometimes schools will have a conversation in class about what they want to see changed, what they want to be better. And then they'll often get together and write to me. So we have letters from students about things around the climate, things about, smaller things that affect them, like how they get to and from school. They write to me and then I can feed it up the chain to the ministers and then see if we need to do something about it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
How do you balance the needs and concerns of our local community with national issues?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So half of the week, when Parliament is what we call sitting, so we all go to Wellington and we sit in the big debating chamber, and we have our select committee work and all of that. So half of the week is doing that, and the other half of the week we fly back to wherever our electorates are. For me, it's here. Fly back from Wellington to here, and then we spend the other half of the week here. So I have constituent clinics, I have lots of meetings, lots of visits to places like Breen's, and I get to do really awesome fun stuff like this too. So it's a really busy life, but it's a really good one.
Sounds very busy. What issues in our community are you currently working on to address?
Yeah, so a lot of people are worried about the cost of living at the moment, so which is a big problem that is affecting the whole country. It's not just Ireland. In terms of more locally, just recently we had a bit of an issue around a pedestrian crossing outside one of our other intermediate schools, outside Heaton School, and I made sure that I was working to try to ensure that they got the safest possible signalised crossing, so that school kids, when they were walking or biking or scooting to school, they were safe when they crossed that very busy road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What are some of the challenges you face in representing our consistency?
Some of the challenges, gosh, I think a lot of it is challenges would be the time available, right? You've heard that we have quite busy lives. So making sure that I do my very best for everybody all of the time. And also just the length of time sometimes that it can take to change things. We were talking about how long it can take a bill to become law. Sometimes it would be great if we could speed that up a bit, but in order to have a really good process, it does take time.
Yep.
how do you gather input from constitutions like ours to inform your decisions? And what is a constitution?
So everybody that lives in the electorate of Ireland, so roughly 70,000 people, they're all what we call constituents. So they're kind of constituents of the electorate. So I've got constituents of Ireland, and my Christchurch Central colleague will have constituents of Christchurch Central. So it's really just a way of describing the people that live in the area and the people that I serve and represent. So yeah, and I forgot the first part of that question. What was it?
How do you gather input from constitutions
great question.
like us to inform your decisions?
Yeah, so I do. I have regular constituent clinics that people can book in a time to see me. So maybe like 15 minutes. They come and they give me a quick overview of what's going on for them. And I do lots and lots and lots of events. So I'll go out and about and meet up with people at things like Culture Galore, lots of ethnic events, so Zimbabwe Day, and at those events people talk to me. And of course, when I'm out and about, people know who I am. They'll come up and say hi and tell me what's going on for them. So there are lots of ways that people can reach out, and we have lots of emails, lots of phone calls, lots of interaction on my social media, so my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Those are all ways that people can reach out if they want to have their say, which is great.
Very well.
Do you have any advice for students interested in pursuing a career in politics?
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice I could give was get to know yourself really well, because this is a job of service. So you're serving the community. And I think if you know who you are and, what you stand for, what matters to you, it gives you a really good grounding in moving forward into a career in politics. So, yeah, and obviously work hard at school, and you do read up about it, like watch the news, go online, have a look at what's being said, and just really feed that knowledge and interest. Yeah.
Good. Well, can you vote? And if so, who will you be voting for?
Yeah, so I'm a citizen of New Zealand and I'm over 18. Permanent residents can also vote, and people who have refugee status. So yes, I can vote, and I live in the Islay electorate, which means that I can vote in the Islay electorate for the Islay MP. So yeah, I can vote, and I can vote for myself, which is a really interesting thing, right?
Yeah.
So I will be voting for myself, and I'll also, because you've got to back yourself, right? And I'll vote for myself to hopefully get the opportunity to serve the people of Ireland for another 3 years. And I'll also be putting my party vote to Labour, which is the party that I represent. So you have two votes. You have your electorate MP vote and you have your party vote. So I'll be ticking Sarah Pallett and I'll be ticking Labour.
So any members of Parliament can vote?
If they live in their electorate, absolutely they can, yeah. So if they're registered to vote in their electorate, then yep, they can vote for themselves. And you'd hope that they thought well enough of themselves to actually vote for themselves. But it's quite a funny experience, because in 2020 was the first time I sat for to be the Member of Parliament for Ireland. It was the first time I put my name forward as the Labour candidate. So I got to vote for myself in 2020, which was really a strange experience. Yeah. And I couldn't take a picture because you're not allowed to take pictures in the voting booth, but I really wished I could because it was quite special. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Sarah, for having the time to talk to us about being a politician in our local community.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so much. This is Peter and Alfie from AKTV. Goodbye.
Bye.
Before we completely say goodbye, here's some information about how the production is going.
So I'm Joshua. I'm a year 8 this year, and I operate the Tinkerbell lights at the back of the room as its production is going on.
Hi, I'm Felix. I'm operating the lights for the production.
Great. How do you think it's going so far?
So far it's going pretty well. First run through, I think it's awesome so far.
Kia ora, I'm Hayley, Mrs. Taylor. I'm the DigiTech teacher here at Breen's, and my role in the production is to support the students with the sound and lighting. This is our first rehearsal, so the students were looking at the notes, when to cue, when to start the music, when to change the lights on the stage. So yeah, just really getting a feel for how the show is. Yeah, one of the major challenges is always students missing lines and then we miss our cues, so we really need to know the production quite well to be able to figure out where to go from there.
I'm Miss Wilkinson and I'm the director and producer of the play, and I've done all the choreography for it as well. Challenges, there's a lot of props and a lot of set to get on and off the stage, so that's probably been the hardest part to coordinate. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. The kids did really well. I just think we probably need a bit more slick with the transitions, but other than that, pretty good for a first run through. Writing down just like things that need to be moved or kids that need to move to different places, or if someone was facing their back to the audience, all that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Sarah, Alfie and Peter, for sharing with us about being a politician in our community. We look forward to catching up again next time.
This is Jack and Charlie from Active Kids TV at Breen Intermediate. Hi,
Haere.